Good morning, boys and girls. My name is Mrs. Ruiz. I'm an assistant principal here at Purple Heart, and this morning I wanted to read a very special story. It is a Christmas story, so I really hope you enjoy it. Too Many Tamales by Gary Soto. Snow drifted through the streets, and now it was dusk. Christmas trees glittered in the windows. Maria moved her nose off the glass and came back to the counter. She was acting grown up now, helping her mother make tamales. Their hands were sticky with masa. "That's really good," her mother said. Maria happily kneaded the masa. She felt grown up, wearing her mother's apron. Her mom had even let her wear lipstick and perfume. If only I could wear Mom's ring, she thought to herself. Maria's mother had placed her diamond ring on the kitchen counter. Maria loved that ring. She loved how it sparkled like a Christmas tree lights. When her mother left the kitchen to answer the telephone, Maria couldn't help herself. She wiped her hands on the apron and looked back at the door. "I'll wear the ring just for a minute," she said to herself. The ring sparkled on her thumb. Maria returned to kneading the masa, her hands pumping up and down. On her thumb, the ring disappeared, then reappeared in the sticky glob of dough. Her mother returned and took the bowl from her. "Go get your father for this part," she said. Then the three of them began to spread masa onto corn husks. Maria's father helped by plopping a spoonful of meat in the center and folding the husk. He then placed them in a large pot on the stove. They made 24 tamales as the windows grew white with delicious smelling curls of steam. A few hours later, the family came over with armfuls of bright presents. Her grandmother, her uncle, and aunt, and her cousins, Dolores, Teresa, and Denny. Maria kissed everyone hello. Then she grabbed Dolores by the arms and took her upstairs to play, with her other cousins tagging along after them. They cut out pictures from newspapers, pictures of toys they were hoping were wrapped and sitting underneath the tree. As Maria was snipping out a picture of the pearl necklace, a shock of spread came over her body. "The ring!" she screamed. Everyone stared at her. "What ring?" Dolores asked. Without answering, Maria ran to the kitchen. The steaming tamales lay piled on a platter. "The ring is inside one of those tamales," she thought to herself. "It must have come off when I was kneading the masa." Dolores, Teresa, and Danny skated into the kitchen behind her. "Help me!" Maria cried. They looked at each other. Danny piped up first. "What do you want us to do?" "Eat them," she said. "If you bite something hard, tell me." The four of them started eating. They ripped off the husks and bite into them. The first one was good, then the second one was pretty good, but by the third tamale, they were tired of the taste. "Keep eating," Maria scolded. Corn husks littered on the floor. Their stomachs were stretched till they hurt, but the cousins kept eating until only one tamal remained on the plate. "This must be it," she said. "The ring must be in that one. We'll each take a bite. You first, Danny." Danny was the youngest, so he didn't argue. He took a bite, nothing. Dolores took a bite, nothing. Teresa took a big bite and still nothing. It was Maria's turn. She took a deep breath and slowly, gently bit into the last mouthful of tamal. Nothing. "Didn't any of you bite something hard?" Maria asked. frowned. I think I swallowed something hard, he said. Swallowed it? Maria cried, her eyes big with worry. She looked inside his mouth. Teresa said, I didn't bite into anything hard, but I think I'm sick. She held her stomach with both hands. Maria didn't dare look at Teresa's mouth. She wanted to throw herself on the floor and cried. The ring was now in her cousin's throat, or worse, his belly. How in the world could she tell her mother? But I have to, she thought. She could feel tears pressing to get out as she walked into the living room where the grown-ups sat talking. They chattered so loudly that Maria didn't know how to interrupt. Finally, she tugged on her mother's sleeve. What's the matter? Her mother asked. She took Maria's hand. I did something wrong, Maria sobbed. What? Her mother asked. Danny's belly. Maria thought about the beautiful ring that was now sitting in Danny's belly and got ready to confess. Then she gasped. The ring was on her mother's finger, bright as ever. The ring, Maria nearly screamed. Maria's mother scraped off a flake of dried masa. You were playing with it, she said, smiling gently. I wanted to wear it, Maria said, looking down at the rug. Then she told them all about how they'd eaten all the tamales. Her mother moved the ring a little on her finger. It twinkled a silvery light. Maria looked up and Aunt Rosa winked at her too. Well, it looks like we will have to cook up another batch of tamales, Rosa said cheerfully. Maria held her full stomach as everyone filed into the kitchen, joking and laughing. At first, she still felt like crying as she needed a great bowl of masa next to her Aunt Rosa. As she pumped her hands up and down, a leftover tear fell from her eyelashes into the bowl and just for a second rested on her finger, sparkling like a jewel. Then Rosa nudged her with her elbow and said, Hey, niña, it's not so bad. Everyone knows that the second batch of tamales always tastes better than the first, right? When Dolores, Teresa, and Danny heard that from the other side of the room, they let a groan the size of 24 tamales. Then Maria couldn't help herself. She laughed, and pretty soon everyone else was laughing, including her mother. And when Maria put her hands back in the bowl of masa, the leftover tear was gone. So, have you ever had something like that happen to you? This story reminded me of just recently, I had a little earbud that I set on the table, and I could have sworn that my dog Benny must have eaten it, because I looked and I couldn't find it. So I was sure it was in his belly. So a couple days later, out of nowhere, it appeared. It was very strange, but this story made me think of that. So I was able to make a connection. And I think it's such a cute little Christmas story because I like to eat tamales, and it kind of just reminds me of spending time with family while we're cooking and things like that during the holidays. So I hope you were able to make a connection, and I hope that you really enjoyed the story. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season with your family. Thanks for listening. Bye, guys.